And as soon as Swerve starts talking, I know that you might not believe this. You might think I'm making this up. Pac attacks Swerve from behind. And Nana is in the ring. Did you notice this? And again, I wish I love Nana. I knew him in Ring of Honor. He's a nice guy. And I wish if he hadn't been listening to the show, and I understand people got lives, things to do, but somebody play him this part because I've been talking about how they continue to bury him. He's in a very awkward position as a babyface manager, but the people want to like him. And the things they do where they bury him, where he has to just watch, even though he's a grown man. And he just watches or he runs off or whatever, makes him look like a pussy. But in this case, this was so avoidable because Nana is standing in the ring watching Swerve do the promo, and on camera, you see Nana sees Pac coming and gets the oh shit face and doesn't warn Swerve, doesn't point and say, look behind you, doesn't try to run toward the impending attack. He shits himself and facially and jumps out of the ropes, out of the ring on the floor, and leaves his friend to get attacked from behind. He's not even going, hey, waving his arms, watch out. He just jumps out. That could have been avoided. He knows Pac is coming. And he ought to know if they bother to even talk through this, much less walk through this. He ought to know what direction he's coming from. Just be looking somewhere else while your man is talking and you're inciting the fans to chant or whatever you're doing. And again, you want to neutralize Swerve first. So yes, Pac should blister Swerve, and then Nana should turn around and Pac should punch Nana in the face and he can take a bump out on the floor. And then all is right with the world. But instead, Nana comes off as a guy that will bail on a friend at the first sign of fucking trouble in a heartbeat. And why do you want to like him? So then Pac starts standing on Swerve's face and the referee rolls into the ring and the announcers say, well, this match was scheduled and advertised. My God, we'll be right back after this. And that's when they take the break. So one would think, Brian, that when we come back on the other side of the break, we're going to be, there's a helicopter going over my house now, part of the rescue fucking operation. Do you hear that, Brian?
I don't.
Well, I do, and it's very loud and distracting. You would think that when they come back from the break, they'd be in the midst of a pitched battle, one would think, right? Because he's already been attacked, and
of course,
unless they're throwing this whole thing out and this match ain't going to take place, they probably they're pulling hair and gouging eyes and all kinds of stuff. They come back from the break. Pac is standing in the ring. Swerve is sitting in the corner with a pissed off look on his face. The announcers say that Pac punished Swerve Strickland throughout the entire break. And now the referee says, okay, and rings the bell. And Swerve jumps up and levels Pac with one fucking boot. So let me understand the logic of this. Yes, their match was advertised. Okay. And while Swerve's in the ring, Pac jumps on him. Okay. The referee comes in the ring. Okay. Now, one would think that at this point, one of only a couple things could happen is number one, the referee could say, ring the bell, start the match. Or number two, the heel could just continue kicking the snot out of the babyface till the referee said, fuck it, we're calling this off because he won't stop. Or, well, that's about one of the two things, but why would the referee allow the heel to beat the shit out of this guy for the entire commercial break? Why then would he stop him right when it comes back on TV where it might be exciting? And why then, after these let the heel kick the shit out of the baby face for the past 3 minutes, would he then ring the bell to start the match? And then if the baby face has had the shit kicked out of him for the last 3 minutes, why did he get up and proceed to kick the shit out of the heel that attacked him to begin with. And one more question, is this what LSD looks like?
No.
Well, are you going to answer the other stuff I asked first?
Well, I thought we were just going to focus on the psychedelics, and maybe mushrooms would be more your thing if I was really thinking about it. I can't explain this. I explain the logic of AEW's referees and what they do. I can't do that.
How do you even go over this in the fucking back and not think, wait a minute, what are we saying? So then Swerve hit Pac with 14 punches, I counted, and a kick. Most of them looked phony, and Pac didn't bump for anything. He just slumped in the corner. But Swerve is just like rib shots that, like, in the vicinity of, I mean, what is going on with everybody's quality control? And then they go to the floor, and Swerve beats him up all over ringside. And then they get back in the ring, and it's kind of slow for a minute, and then Pac tries a running Hurricane Rana. But when he gets his legs around Swerve, Swerve catches him and stops it and picks him up. And the idea of it was supposed to be he was going to give him a buckle bomb in the corner. And then from there, we'll never know. Because when Swerve caught him, Pac is a stout-looking young fellow. He's short, but he's stocky, and Swerve is not exactly Ken Patera in the Olympic weightlifting team. So he tries to pick him up to buckle bomb him, but he gives him a sloppy buckle bomb. And if anybody wants to go back and look at this, and I remember a talk I had 10 years ago, I saw Sting at a fan fest, and that when Seth Rollins had given him the buckle bomb, that's when he took, what was it, fucking 6 years off wrestling. But in a perfect world, you're supposed to be buckle bombed into the turnbuckle. At least this is how the originators did it, where the top rope comes underneath your armpits and the middle of your shoulders hits the top turnbuckle. And even that, when it was done properly, to Sting, that's what he told me. He said as soon as he hit that top buckle, he felt something in his neck and shit went numb. And he was like, oh, fuck. Because when you're shot across the turnbuckle from corner to corner in the ring, you're hitting at a flat rate. And that's the deal. The guys that took the best turnbuckles were the ones that hit it the flattest. You could get momentum and turn and hit flat and move the ring across the floor. And it at the same time, hitting flat didn't put any more pressure than was necessary on any one part of your body, and it didn't snap your neck like if all of your momentum is concentrated in hitting with your shoulders and your shoulder blades in the back of your neck only. So what this knucklehead did, he didn't have him. And instead of saying, well, no, maybe I ought to just powerbomb him anyway, because it's not like the guy was going to go, oh my God, I'll fuck this up by being powerbombed in the ring. He still got to buckle bomb him. He throws him sideways, and he was out too far. Swerve was out too far from the buckle. And he didn't throw him flat. He threw him sideways so that you get these in my head, the sides, the left side and or shoulder area of Pac hit the top rope a ways out from the buckle, where it looked like that then whipsawed Pac around to where the rest of his head kind of hit maybe under the top buckle, but it spun his body around with enough centrifugal force that when he landed sideways, his foot was under him, right ankle, and that he landed right on it. And I mean, I'm again willing to be corrected, but when he landed from that buckle bomb, I got a clue when he started screaming in fucking pain and grabbing his ankle and never regained his proper footing after that may have been the incident that did it. And that's what happened. He didn't go flat in with both feet under him. Swerve was too far out and he threw him sideways and he hit the top rope and whipsawed down. And he could very well have broken his ankle because that much speed from the spin combined with not being able to control where you were going or get your feet under you, you can't prepare. But then they fucked the whole goddamn business up, Brian. Well, you want to go into this before we talk about how then they shit all over the business and made it look like a complete idiocy.
How, by having a doctor check on him in the middle of the match?
Well, this whole thing that we're going to go through that just made no sense. But I mean, otherwise, this show is snake bit. It's a bad match followed by bad promo, followed by people coming out that the fans might care about, but they don't care about what they're doing here. And they just not delivered well. And then they get another match going and this guy's going to the fucking hospital. What the fuck is the matter with this program?
Again, I'm not the one to answer that, so I can't help you.
So then here's what happens. His right ankle is obviously fucked and he's talking to the referee and they're trying to communicate something and Swerve pulls him out and does like a snapmare. And Pac sits there and is looking over his shoulder like, because Swerve does the thing where he comes off with the kick to the head. So he's looking for something like, what's this guy going to hit me with? I'll see it coming because I'm obviously fucked up. And Swerve gives him an elbow in the back of the head. And I thought, well, that'll be it. Now he'll pin him. Swerve gets up and starts strutting around. And then walks over slowly and stands on Pac. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why are they not going home? Because obviously this guy knows he's fucked, or why are they doing this in this fashion? And then there's some more talking, but Pac is trying to get up. He can't stand up, so he rolls to the floor. Well, now it is obvious to the entire building and the television audience that this guy can't stand up. And he rolls out to the floor, and the doctor comes up and is checking, and the referee's not counting. What the hell is the matter? You're telling people, oh my God, I'm unplanned hurt in the middle of this fake presentation, and we don't know whether we're about to resume our goddamn normal programming. But also, for the sake of this guy's going to get further injured, he leaves the doctor and rolls back in the ring and hops on one foot twice into a super kick. Which one would think maybe somebody has buzzed the referee. Tell Swerve just beat him. So he walks into that, hops into the super kick, and he goes down, and Swerve goes the top rope. I'm thinking, my God, you just super kicked him, cover him. He goes to the top rope, and Pac has to turn around and sit up and stare at this fucking guy. He's already got who knows what wrong with his ankle. And now he's got to sit there and stare at this guy. Well, this guy takes forever to stand on the top rope and do the double stomp off. Boom, then 1, 2, 3. And it will break this down in a second, what they could have done. But the end result that they got was this gutsy heel shoved the doctor away and returned to fight on one leg so that the babyface could take advantage of it and beat a cripple. But, okay, all the kids these days, they've heard that back in those days, we didn't stop matches. And get the finish in, kid. That's the most important thing. Get the finish in, kid. But because, unfortunately, none of the current crop of talent maybe has heard in detail directly from some of those veterans said, we didn't stop the match. You got to get the finish in, kid. That it doesn't mean you have to get the planned finish in. It means you need to get a finish in. The finish them. Who's supposed to win? Who's supposed to lose? Give me a 1, 2, 3. That you can get in. But you don't. When he came down and he fucking knew his ankle was fucked, You can buy a little time by him selling in the corner and the referee coming in and him telling the referee and the referee conveying to Swerve, I'm fucked, back up. And the referee can kill a second, but backing him up, and Swerve could get him chanting Swerve's house. And then the referee has a good 15 seconds to go over there and say, can you go on with this or are you fucked? And considering the fact that he never did stand up after that, I would think that Pac would probably already know that he was somewhat injured. So when Swerve brought him out of the corner and gave him a snapmare and he's sitting there, he could give him the kick in the back of the head and cover 1, 2, 3, he's going to win anyway. But he didn't. He started hot dogging. What is the conversation like in the ring? Did Pac just say, no, it's only a flesh wound? And then when he rolls to the floor, the referee has to start counting. The doctor's checking on the guy, yes, but the referee has to start counting, because how do you ever have a count out if the guy can just roll to the floor and say, let me let the doctor work on me for a little while? If this was legitimate, because that's another reasoning behind always getting the finish in. You didn't want to do something to expose the business. You didn't want the wrong guy to win a match, whatever. But this was both exposing the business and risking the guy getting further hurt. When the doctor, do they want to institute a rule where if a wrestler signals something, that he gets 15 seconds to confer with the ringside physician before the count starts? And close the loophole. A guy can't break up a cover or a submission hold by signaling that, because the opponent cannot be in contact with his body at the time he calls for it. Has to be during a break after a bad fall or whatever. You could put something like that in and give him a chance. But otherwise, referee count, it's a shoot. And it seems like that it wouldn't have been that difficult for Pac to tell Swerve, I'm fucked, beat me now. And then after he rolled out in the doctor conference, when he comes back in hopping on one fucking foot, you just super kicked him. Cover him. But already the business is exposed, because everything's come to a complete halt, while suddenly in the middle of this fake bullshit, the guy's really hurt. So we got to stop everything. But that was the meaning behind, in the old days, get the finish in, get a finish in. And I've told this story before, but real briefly, I saw a guy in the Louisville Gardens break his leg in a match and win the match. Tommy Gilbert and Ray Candy against Luke Graham and John Rogers. And Gilbert gave a vertical suplex to Rogers. His leg folded up underneath him. It broke his lower leg right in half. He never did get up on his feet after that. But as he's laying there and they're selling, it still was awkward, but not nearly as awkward as this for nearly as long, because the partners jumped in and drew the referee and did a little back and forth. And once the guy stopped screaming about his leg, they adopted a plan, and Luke Graham did the loaded elbow to the fucking throat of, I think it was Ray Candy, and Candy fell backwards over the guy with the broken leg, and he grabbed him 1, 2, 3 in a fucking schoolboy. And then they helped him out. But that was over in seconds compared to what this long drawn out thing was. And again, how does it make why does the babyface think in his mind, everybody knows this guy's hurt, his leg is broken or whatever the fuck, I've just super kicked him, I got to go to the top and jump off on him. It's going to look phony. It always does, but especially now, because the guy's got to fucking wiggle into position and stare at me when everybody's looking at him going, oh my God, his leg's hurt. And then I'm going to fucking, why not just take him back behind the barn and shoot him, old Yeller? This was the worst 35 minutes of wrestling television in history, Brian.
In history?
In history!
That's a long period of time there. You know, there was a lot. Again, I was intrigued by the fact that nothing was ending. and then eventually it ended. Everyone's chasing everyone. Does Swerve see himself as a babyface even though he is? Because like you said, you would understand the philosophy of the babyface needing to hit his downed opponent after he's hurt to win. Like, just the whole thing didn't make any sense. But I guess he wanted to get his stuff in. He was going to get his stuff in, and he did. Whose house?
The doctors. He's added an extra wing for AEW injuries. But, the doctors may be the only ones that are really coming out ahead on this thing, Brian, because even though these AEW guys are getting paid a lot of money, the toll on their bodies, the wear and tear, the surgeries, the injuries, the crises, don't you think that maybe these poor, beleaguered pro wrestlers ought to have something to fall back on whenever they're laid up in a hospital bed, some way to generate some income, some way to build a future for themselves in the business world? You think?
Oh, sure. I mean, for instance, right now, maybe PAC's setting up PAC's collectibles.
I don't know if people want any of PAC's collectibles, because all he really has is black boots, black tights, and stringy, greasy hair. But he could think of something, and that's the point. They need something to fall back on because they're falling down with so much more frequency. Because let's say, Brian, for example, that while PAC is laid up in a hospital bed, he's got an idea. He wants to sell football uniforms to the team over there in West Faversham. He needs a platform. He needs somebody to help him out to put these dreams into action and turn them into reality, and more importantly, make the big bucks. And that's where our friends at Shopify come in. Not only are they powering our t-shirt enterprise here on the program, along with Arcadian Vanguard and the Drive-Thru and the Experience, we're all over the Shop app. You can be too. Just not with our stuff. We'll hunt you down and gut you like a fish, but you can sell your own shit. Let's say he wants to do PAX Drive-Thru. I can't imagine what type of meal he would serve, but nevertheless, Shopify is the #1 checkout on the planet, a global platform that will take you from inception to conception to reception to interception in your various business stages, and upgrade your business to the same checkout the big boys do. Find your customers wherever they may be hiding around the world. And I'm telling you what, you might have penguins on an island in the Antarctic sending you whale blubber that have got to be converted into good old American currency. Shopify can help that out too.
Well, no.
And as a matter of fact, they only charge.
Let's not say things.
No, they only charge £5 on the blubber conversion.
There is no blubber conversion. This is something for some other app. But Shopify, the shop store, that's where you want to be, and Shopify is the partner you want to make sure you can sell your goods all across the Shopify world.
All over my body and all over the world with your products and your services and your fine items that Shopify is going to help you once you're under their umbrella. They will protect you from all the harm that can come to you in the world and the bad things that go on in business, because they know the right way to do things. They're experienced. And also, if anybody's messing with you like that kid down the street, they'll send a guy over. And I'll tell you, this guy's got something in his pocket that'll straighten out most arguments. Once you get them on your side, the people at Shopify, not only are you making money, but you can have the shit kicked out of some people if you want, just to let them make the wrong move.
No, you can't. You could sell your goods
I'm telling
in a secure way with a partner you could trust, Shopify. They, Shopify, the people at Shopify have nothing to do with anything else.
Well, that would maybe just something that guy from the local Shopify office did on a freelance basis for me, but he was very accommodating. Boy, you talk about after the flood, they'll never find that guy.
Again,
but anyway, folks,
has
once
nothing
again,
to do with Shopify, ladies and gentlemen. Let's specify.
No, they didn't cause the flood, and they didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world was turning. But folks, you could upgrade your business right now for $1 a month, and boy, you got to have a pretty pissy business if you could upgrade it for $1 a month. No, that's the discount on the trial period that you get at Shopify.com/JCE. That's all lowercase there. You can get a $1 a month trial period. That's right. So that Shopify can show you what they can do for you and what you can do for them. And one hand washes the other, and back scratch fever and, a little fucking wink, wink between bros in the shower. You never know what might happen.
Yeah, that won't happen, ladies and gentlemen. You know that Shopify will be there to support you and your store.
Yes, they'll support your dangling bits. Go to Shopify.com/JCE to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/JCE for all your business needs on your commercial platform in which you will engage in checkout and commerce.
Indeed. A mouthful, but what else could you expect from such a great friend like Shopify? They power our store. They can power yours. Shopify.com/JCE. Is that what it is?
You don't get the mouthful service, though, for the $1 a month trial period. They charge more for that.